I've been thoughtin' and boughtin' since I was a young little thing, okay?
Oh my god, it was the most intense thing that ever happened to me.
My life is a chaotic madness. Chaotic madness.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chaotic Madness. It's your girl, Sasha Raee, and today we have the beautiful Daddy's Rozay. I don't even remember to feed myself. Like, I literally have to put on my calendar when to eat breakfast, when to eat lunch, when to eat dinner. Like, because I can go days without eating.
Okay, so yeah, I'm bad. I don't do, I'm hardly have breakfast, or I'll have a smoothie and then I'm not eating again until literally I'm okay, I'll have something for dinner if I do that, if I remember. You're right. You know what I'm thinking? I never processed that out loud.
See?
What do you mean?
And I only figured that out because I got heavy back into the gym again and I lift a lot of weights. And so I've been shedding, but I've noticed that my curves were going away and I was like, wait, bitch, you ain't eating. That's why. So I tried to track my calories, but a bitch, no, I don't do that. So no. So then I was like, okay, let me force myself to eat by putting it on my schedule. So that way it's another task that I check off. And now I've been eating 3 times a day, but it'd be crazy. I literally would go I think I've gone almost a whole week before without eating. Wow. Not purposely. It's just I don't eat. But that's also depression. So
yeah. I get that I want to eat more food when I'm depressed, at least now. Before I didn't, but now it's more I want to eat something. I'm craving something.
Like a teeter, it's that maniac point where I'm to the extreme. Either I don't eat or overeat. Mm-hmm. But this is gonna sound so vain and I don't care, but I personally want to look a certain way, and me overeating makes me hate to look at myself in a mirror. I've been over 200 pounds. I've been almost 230, and I would not like to look at a mirror. That's why I stopped making clips too for a while, because I just gained so much weight that I felt so unattractive. And then I think too that's what made me kind of stop eating. But it's I'm on the extreme. I'm either eating too much or not eating at all. So now I'm in that medium where I'm okay, let's have a normal diet.
That's the realest shit. I went from always being skinny from my eating disorder to then around the pandemic getting sick and then gaining a shitload of weight. So it was my body changed, and it was hard to talk about with people because I was also, when I got into the industry, that's when I was heavier. So people saw me like that and they assumed that was just my body. So when I started losing weight, they were like, oh, you were perfect. But no, this wasn't my body. I felt like I was in someone else's body. And it's yeah, it might sound vain, but it's also, we all know what our bodies look best at. That's totally normal. And that was the same thing for me. It was I just stopped eating. And then I'm no, you can't just be I'm not going to eat now because I want to look like this. And then your body also doesn't look good when you don't eat.
Yeah. Literally.
It doesn't look nice when you're not eating, because you're going to lose part of your curves and then you just don't sit right. And that's where I was okay, no, I have to eat. And that's why I know if I don't really want to have breakfast, I'm not really a breakfast person. I started getting a lot of frozen fruits, or even if I want to buy fruit, I got someone to buy me the sandwich sealer, the freezer bag thing. What is it called?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, a pervert bought it. Panties. So I'm swindle it. I'm if you buy this, you get panties. So I got that. So I'll even freeze fruits and veggies so they don't go bad. And then I'm at least able to have smoothies and get nutrition and stuff into my body if I don't want to have a meal, because I'm still going through that mindset of how I feel about my weight. But I'm
100%.
Eating, at least I can say if I don't feel comfortable with something solid, at least I put that, and I'm going to make sure that I have a heavy dinner, or I'm having soups or something in between. But that balance is so important.
So important. And I try not to be overly where I'm not allowing myself to indulge in fatty foods or like fast food and stuff, because that also can then trigger you as well, where you're just like, the moment that you eat something that isn't healthy and you go down a downward spiral. So like I try to mix and match. Like
I'm gonna also send you this Black nutritionist on Instagram. That was a big help for me as well for food, because she focuses on, and she's like a terror, like how we are in the porn industry. We've been like, no, we're putting Blackness. She's like that with all of her allies. So she hates diets because she's like, they don't talk about Black women's bodies, and BMIs are extremely racist. So I'm definitely gonna pass you off her like page, and she also has a program. She changed my life because she was a constant reminder that when I was told when I gained that weight and was going through hormonal issues, they're all like, oh, it's what you eat. And I'm like, I have like a pretty good diet when I'm not indulging. And they were trying to guilt me and say that like the natural food I eat, like rice, is bad for you. Like, and it's not. So she goes through all that, and she says that this is like eating quinoa's equivalent of actually having, like, she didn't even tell you can have fried chicken. Like, she literally is pro, like, you can.
Yes, send her my way.
Everything. She just literally says, this is how you do it. And you can have white rice. There's nothing wrong with white rice. Like, everything she says, it's like on point, and she advocates the fuck. Like, she shakes the table all the time. Like, she'll see an article and it's like best diets, and then puts like African food or like African American food or Caribbean food in like the red zone, and she'll post about that and go off on it. Like, she tears all that shit down.
Oh, yes.
She's an amazing type of person, but that comes down to what I wanted to say. I was like, what do I want to say about this industry? That people also need to remember, like, anyone that's watching this that is like thinking about getting into this or isn't this, it always is going to have like a shallow egotistical aspect of it. It's not that like people have to have, let's say, the quote unquote body that's in, or the European body, but it's like you do have to maintain or be the best version of your body for this, because you're not going to want to look at yourself on camera, and then your art is not going to come out good if you're not confident, because if you can't look at yourself, and that's me real. And that's why I'm happy, and I do feel that privilege that I can go and like offer a different service and take a break when I don't want like my body, or I want to take a break to have that space to like heal with how I feel about my body, versus feeling like I gotta like work a lot, because you have to look at yourself so much in these things.
So much. Like that's all you do. You criticize yourself. Like you have no choice. Your body is your brand. It's your business. So I think as long as you're happy with yourself and you're taking care of yourself, however you look, that's what's important, and not necessarily what outside opinions have to say. Yeah. So, and I think that's something that's very, very important. And then learning to and knowing when to kind of take a step back. Like, I don't know if I'll ever return to making clips again. For one, I just am not sexually like into it anymore. Like making clips I think it's because it's like not stimulating my mind creatively anymore, because I'm tired of like being in my bedroom or being in the shower. Like I want to create like an actual like film. Like I want it to be artsy. I want it to be like fucking romance with like the most beautiful cinematography ever. I don't know if that'll necessarily make money, and to produce something like that would cost a lot of money. So I just don't know if it's worth the investment. And two, like, I don't fucking go out my house. Like, I don't leave my house. So
I feel like it's gotta be like a medium of that, because that's how I feel. So like, I've always been this way, even when I was like in regular jobs, and people always told me about me. When I'm on, I'm on. When I'm not, I don't know how to like. And I feel like you're kind of similar like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like when I'm not inspired, if I don't have a muse or a crush or something going on to channel with when I'm filming, I don't want to film.
Yeah.
I don't want to film. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't find it amusing to be in the shower unless I'm literally fantasizing about someone. I'm going to use that to make myself some money. And I just feel like that's why there needs to be like a lot more of not just like porn award meetups and things for fans. I think we really need more like community events that are not based on actual like everyone's just like, you know, showing off to network, just more like actual workshops and things of different things about how to be creative, and everyone just sharing their dreams and networking. Like we need actual networking events, like how other businesses do and other like different, I don't know like how I'm saying, but like
Have you gone to any of the XBiz events?
no, like I have just newer and like I'm newer and I'm also in Canada, so it's like that
Yeah,
whole
super expensive. Yes, because I know it's expensive
like,
in the
Les is
States.
very like anti-sex worker, like with traveling the borders, and I'm a black woman, so it's like getting into the U.S. right now, you have a huge chance of like being detained. So it's
Really?
yeah, and it's also like a lot of people too aren't open with what they do. That's why I just wish there was more even like online things and like more community stuff.
I mean, you can always just say like, I mean, hell, you can use me now. Like, oh, you're visiting your friend from college, and like, because that's like when I went to Canada in December to do the mini vids campaign.
Mm.
Yes, it was so fun. I was nervous because I've traveled internationally before, but I've never traveled alone before.
Mm.
And so I was like, what the fuck do I say? So I just said, oh, I'm here to for a friend's wedding. And my friend Destiny Diaz, she told me to have like reservations like planned for dinners and like have like an itinerary list plan just to make it seem like you're there like as a tourist and you'll be fine. And like I signed out of all of my social media and I also deleted the apps off of my phone just in
It's
case.
crazy like how much you have to
Yeah, so much just to get through the borders.
so crazy, but that's why like I really like, I hope that like the network between like American Canadian performers like black, like I feel like we need like more of a black alliance with creators, and that's also why I feel like it's important for people like you having podcasts where everyone can kind of get to know different creators. And like I just feel like there's a lot of like division and divide where it's like we could be coming together and like working on a lot of projects where everyone, there's lots of people that have ideas like where you want to do more film stuff. Like I would love to have more of like my content be like a show or to cast for that. There's so many things that we can do, but like we also don't like, have that nice big network where we can have that. It's just black people.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually kind of want to do something else. How do I get inspired from that?
Yeah.
Like, how do we work this out where everyone can try to at least attain to that?
I mean, I think it's just about like coming up with the idea and pitching it to like the people that have the money to help back it. There's like one project that I really, really, really want to do, and I feel like it can be done. I just have to find basically like people that want to help fund it. And I mean,
I'll give you the little I have.
oh no, baby, we talking about like we need commas after commas. No.
$5. You go buy yourself a chicken sandwich. Go buy 2 food down. Like,
but that's also like with this podcast, like when I started it, I wanted to start it because for one, I love seeing Black people in a space like this, just hosting and having their own thing. But I also wanted people to understand that sex workers are humans. Like, yes, we sell sex and fantasy for a living, but we're way more than that. And I wanted a way for people to also kind of find new creators that maybe they never heard of before or just didn't have access to within like, that world to kind of like get to know them. And two, it's like I wanted to be able to like put on and have a safe space for like Black people, but like everyone too. Like I didn't want to just ostracize and make it all Black, only Black. But it's kind of like too, like we don't got spaces for us, so why not be that space and kind of open up the doors and just have conversations? Like I just love talking to people and getting to know people besides their like Instagram handles and besides their porn name. Like, okay, we get it.
I want to ask you, do we have a directory yet? Is there an actual like directory for like Black cam creators, like fetish creators? Like, is there a directory? Because I find that like it's really hard when people approach me for things and they're like, oh, do you do this and this and this? Like I don't have that network, or I can't refer them to anywhere. And like we have that, and like burlesque and different communities have that, where there are directory sites or a domain and a page where it's everybody, and then it's just like a standard event. Okay, as long as you're on like a legit clip site or whatever, you're on that list. Like everyone gets respected and on that list, and it's there. It's just something that's there. It's also for companies that they can't use that excuse of, we couldn't hire any Black people for our campaign because we didn't know there were Black cam girls. You know what I mean? There's no excuse, and it's also like shoving resources in people's face. Like, this is a list. Look at it.
Yes, great. And that's a good question. I don't want to say that there isn't, because there probably is, but I'm going to reach out to my friend Lotus Lane, because she literally has she's in space everywhere. I love her so much. So if anyone would know, she would know. Okay, and then when I find out, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
if she won't know, she'll know someone. Yeah. I'm sure there's something. I'm sure there's something. And if not, then here we go. Perfect opportunity to just create one. Because it's true. I hate oh my God. I won't say the name of the company, even though we're not affiliated with each other anymore. But there was this whole thing that happened. And one of the things that they said to me was it's not that we don't want to post Black people. It's just that, where are they? They're not here. If they're not here, we can't post them. And I'm like, if you go through your site, you're gonna see them. The fuck are you talking about? And we were already having a very intense conversation around that type of stuff. And so to me, it was just it's a fucking, it's a cop-out. It's a fucking lie. Even with mini-vids, and I told them this, I was like, did you guys only ask me to, fill in your Black quota? Was I that token Black girl to make you look good on the campaign? Because I almost didn't want to do it. Because I'm I don't want to be your fucking token. I don't.
So you take that opportunity, and yeah. You tell them how you feel every fucking
and I told them exactly how I felt.
Now that I'm in the door
with no lube, I was like, if this is the only opportunity that I have to speak amongst this many people, I'm gonna use it. And it was a positive. They reacted to it so well. And I've told all of the people there at Minivids about this. I'm yeah, this is how I felt. I didn't want to do it at first, and and they're like, we're sorry that you felt that way. That wasn't our intentions. It was just you were one of our top MV models. You were, and I was just okay, I just want to make for sure, because ain't nobody gonna profit off of my Blackness but me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the only bitch to profit off of my skin color. Okay.
Of right now, I will go on record as saying is that they've been backing up everything they've been saying with shit, and I'm gonna make sure this is said, and I will look in the camera and say that there's a lot of drama online with the site, and I just feel they're the only ones that have said that they're going to make changes, and they've made changes, and they listen. When I talked to them, and I said too, I was you have to understand that it's not that your Black performers aren't as good. That's why we're not on the same level. I'm to understand that a lot of us are coming from extreme poverty and don't have the money to be at certain levels, and we don't get the same types of exposure and funding as your white models do. And if you don't put us on that front page, how are we going to get out of poverty? How are we going to be able to make better content? I made it very clear this is a huge thing about the financial gap and not being able to be seen. Mm-hmm. And I told them, I said, people don't know what they want. You got to show them what they want. If you put Black bodies up on that front, people are they must, you know how people are in this life. They see something on the front, they're going to instantly believe that that's what they're supposed to want to see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So put it there, spotlight things, do things, and they've been starting to do that, and it made me happy to see that they're starting to do that.
And things take time as well too. I understand, and let me clarify this too, because I don't want people to think that Minivids fucking pays me, because they don't pay me to be an advocate. I am not a official brand ambassador for them. I do a lot of projects with them, yes, but I'm not being paid to represent them. No. To clarify that. But if y'all do Minivids, y'all do want to run me a check, your girl is open, okay? But things take a lot of time, and especially with like site updates and features, and even with like homepage design, and not everything's going to happen as quickly or as fast as we want. And there's a lot of things that we don't know that happens behind the scenes as well too, like internally, like there could be a lack of staff or whatever the situation could be, things changing. So I feel like while I'm happy to see, for one, that there's all different types of people that are being promoted and that are being given a chance to do different type of projects and different type of things. They're not perfect by any means, and I tell them all the time, like, yo, like, what the fuck is this? Like this is fucked up, this is shitty, like, maybe not shitty, not like in that way, but like, I just be like, yo, like, or I'd be like, you know, do you not hear us or see us on Twitter when we're saying this, and this, and we want that and that and that? Like, you know, so it's like, they see it and they hear it, but there's also like a timeline and like a procedure, and then too, sometimes some people, they just may not give a fuck, and we may not get everything that we want. But I think baby steps is better than no steps.
And like, I can say it because I'm literally experiencing it, because they've given me opportunity, and I see the difference in my sales.
Mm-hmm.
I see the difference of everything that I've been able to get since I'm doing it. And that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep investing in myself. But I'm like, you also have to keep giving opportunity, because I'm also going to show you guys that, like, look, this is my main site that I use. Like, I like this site. I don't want to go to another site. But it's also the time limit. I think that it's just so hard to balance, because people also forget, yeah, like you said, it could be lack of staff. And it's also hard to find people that might actually know how to deal with diversity and deal with different things as well. This is a fucking porn site. How much people really want to be attached to a porn site?
Right.
And it's also a Canadian company. And the thing is, that's also, I try to tell people, this is a Canadian company, and it's like, it's not the same. And like racism and stuff, it's very different here. Our shit is very passive. Very passive.
Yeah, that's what I learned too. Like,
so like, they don't comprehend as easy as in like what they're doing and how when they don't do things. And that's not an excuse. Like I said, I've always been like, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. I'm giving you time, but like,
get it together.
You know, get it together.
It's 2022. Like, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse, but it's just definitely a thing of it opened my eyes as well. Like, there were certain things, because like, I've always dated everybody. Like, I've never just only dated one thing. And that's, again, how it is here. It's very diverse. And then like, I didn't realize how things can be perceived until like going into an American market and learning about a lot more that I didn't really completely understand.
Yeah. I think everything comes with its own time and pace, and I feel like we're so wanting everything right now, like right here, right now. I mean, myself, just in life in general, like sometimes I have to take a step back and be like, oh, I manifested everything that I asked, that I wanted for, that I have this very moment, but yet I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Like, bitch, what? Like, hello, like, look at where you were and where you're at, and then continue towards the future. And that goes with some of these sites too, because there's some sites out there, I won't name no names, but some of these bitches just don't give a fuck about no diversity and never will.
I'm not calling nobody a saint, but I'm just saying, from what I experienced with other things, I'm just kind of like, you know what, I lesser of two evils or whatever. It's not even that, like, you know, but I'm just like, yeah, that's the biggest thing, is trying to like see what you've manifested, and knowing that like how much you've manifested and the list of what you have now that you didn't before. It's like, that's how I feel too. You want everything like now, and you can see it, especially when you are smart and you have the vision and you literally know it's only money.
Right.
Like, you have skill set, and I think that's what I struggle with and pisses me off, and that's why I just have to like remove myself from online. I don't try to be online because I would talk too much. But it's just like, you can see that you're just like, if you just put us on the front and gave us more recognition, like, I would be making this money, and then I would be able to do all these things, because there's talent, there's like, you have that drive, and you know that's literally money. There's a lot of people in this world where it's not like they don't know what they want to do. They don't know how they feel with different things. And then there's people like us that are like, I know what I want to do. And it's just really hard to like balance your mental health on that. And then how do I still remember that I have everything that I manifested, and it's not going to just come tomorrow. Like it's not tomorrow, but like there's still progress.
I will say I had a friend that definitely introduced me to the right people that I wouldn't have had the opportunity of meeting by myself without them opening the door and letting me in. And I'm the type of person, like, when I meet someone and we build a relationship, I keep rapport with you. Like, I keep my connections like the back of my hand. Like, you just never know who, like, you never know who knows who, or who knows what opportunity that can come. And I always want someone to think of my name first and think of me in a positive way as well, to provide me with those opportunities, or to ask me to feel confident enough and trusting that if they go, do you know someone that would be good for this? And they trust me enough to know that I'm going to bring them someone that, you know, is going to meet their expectations. And I feel like that friend of mine, she definitely, like, she really helped open a lot of doors for me to have those conversations. And I'm always going to be very much appreciative of them for that, because some of the opportunities that I did get, like, I would have never got, because like I'm just not invited. Like, the door is locked and closed. Like, I can't get in that bitch. Like, hello, I'm banging and I'm knocking, but she had the key and was like, hey, let's go in together. And then she's like, oh, hey, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go get coffee. And like, I would stay, and
you
like,
have the opportunity.
Yeah. And like, that's like a figurative, like, oh, let me go get coffee. It's just like, you know, like the introductions and the connections were made, and from there I took along. And you know, that's how networking is. Like, that's just how it is in life in general. But like, it's all about creating that space.
But like, like you taking, that's what I was like, what was I saying? Like, you taking that like thing with many events and going to Montreal, like, it was inspiring to see you. To see you was beautiful. To see you there.
So happy.
I was so ecstatic on that. I was like, yes, like, I'm gonna cry, because it was like, that's how much it meant to me. That is how much it meant to me. And I understand that. And that's the thing is, and like, I want people to take opportunities, and I get kind of pissed when I see it online, when I see like people like attacking, you know, different companies and different sites, and saying that like anyone that works with these people is kind of like, no one's perfect. But at the end of the day, I want to see blackness. Okay. So like, please, like, you know, as long as these companies aren't hurting your mental, like, just please keep doing it. It was just great to see you. It was great to see you. It felt like, see, like, we fit.
You're gonna make me cry.
We work, you know, because it's something that like I've always like achieved to be. And because that was a site like I started on, like, again, they're not paying me for anything, but it was like, that was a site I started on. And you know, you always want to get noticed, you always want to be at the top. And then when I saw you, I was like, that's a goal. Like, so like you messaging me and like being like, hey, like, do you want to chat? I was like I fell in love with you, seeing you rank for cosplay as a finalist, and then like getting to see your beautiful face and seeing you do that campaign. And then I did that. I was on the same campaign with you as well, but they're doing the little like
the mini voices.
The many voices. I was like, I saw you again, and I was like, oh my god. Like, here's another thing that I'm like, I got to like do with you, or be a part with you. I was a finalist with you, and then like now to be on this project with you, it meant a lot to me. Like, I'm like looking at myself like, but like, it meant a lot to me. I just really wanted to make sure I said that, and I was like, I was gonna text it to you yesterday, and I was like, no, fuck it. I'm gonna be a big emotional baby, and I'm gonna let you know that I'm like, no, like,
that
it
really
meant so much to see someone with like my body, dark skin. I think you're so fucking beautiful. I think you're so beautiful. And you were glowing, like everything about you. And I was like, I better, like, I'm like, I better this. I'm like, I'm manifesting one day you and I on an actual like in-person project together. But that's what I mean, and that's what I want to keep seeing from these sites and these companies, because even if they don't believe that we're what their fan base wants, at least have a fucking heart and again, starting with Black women, let Black women be able to meet each other, see each other, and for once in our fucking lives, not feel shitty for being Black and dark skinned, or that we're not good enough to be on things. Let us be able to see each other out there. Let us be able to dream that we can be in campaigns and content. Let us see our potential. We deserve to see our potential, and that's what you did. Like, that's what you did, because I respect everyone that was on that campaign. I know how good they are as creators, and to see you there, that confirmed. That was like, that's boss right there. Like, you're there. You got flown out to Montreal. Like, you got flown out to Montreal. That is huge. That's bigger than anything to me. Like, when you're getting flown out by a company, a corporation flying you out, and it says, we want you. We want to see your beauty. We need you for our campaign. We need you. Like, that's huge.
My heart.
You know what I mean? Like, it's huge. It's huge. And like, you stream, you game, you do so many things, and now learning this about you, and like, now you have the house, you have everything. This is important. These are the important things we need to see, and these are the type of Black women I want to see. I want to see this. I don't want to just see the models. I don't want to see the ones that have just been always modeling, and like, you know, their goals are just to like model and that's it. Like, I want to see the different people. You don't have to want to do everything in the world, but like, I want to see it. So please keep doing it. Please keep taking these opportunities. You don't gotta take the clothes off, but don't. If you have to drag your ass once a year on camera just to stay in the, like, I'm still here.
I'm here, bitches.
Mob me for campaigns because I'm still here. You gotta do it once just to keep, because that was everything. There's my fangirl. Like, God, had to get it out.
No, it's like I can't breathe because, for one, thank you. Like, you saying all of that just really solidified that I'm doing something, because sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time in a sense, and that like my goal isn't like getting out there. And I'm gonna start crying because growing up I never saw like us like anywhere, and of course I'm a person and I'm a performer, so like, you know, I like winning things, like I'm competitive, whatever, but like it never was about me actually winning. It was always about me being in that 5 or 6 little circle square next to these, I'm going to say it, white women, and letting people that looked like me see that it was possible for us to be able to be in the same space. And sometimes I feel like that I'm not doing enough to like be seen out there for people. And just to hear you say that really just lets me know that like what I'm trying to accomplish, that it is motivating and it is inspiring people, because that is all that I'm trying to do at the end of the day. I am by far not like the richest person ever, and for me it's like I just want people to see themselves, and I feel like as much as Minivis has his own fucking problems, but like they really decided to like listen, and they decided to shut the fuck up, sit back and listen to some of the voices, and like it's just,
and but like literally I remember when it was the awards, and like I was halfway through it and I wanted to like just give up. Like, I didn't want to push hard to be a finalist, but I saw you in it and I was like, fuck it, I gotta go far. I gotta go hard. I gotta go hard. I gotta go hard. And I felt so proud to be able to be like, I was a finalist in my category, and seeing you be a finalist in your category. And then it was only one Rhonda as well to see. Mm-hmm. And that was, I still was like on them. I'm like, that should have been highlighted. That was the first time there was that many
many black people. Prince Jean.
Actually, it's the first
love him.
It was the first time black women have ever.
Yes.
I was the first Canadian, and you two were the first American black women to place, and that should have been highlighted. That's one thing I will say that drives me insane. But like, it was a huge moment because there are other creators on it that are black that are even like way better than me that to say they don't bother with it.
Yeah, there's no point. I mean, I'm very blessed because I have supporters that I can be point blank with. Like, and to be honest, like, I know I've won 2 Minivid awards because of my supporters. Like, and I get why too. A lot of models are like that. Sometimes the awards aren't fair because if you don't have like rich fans to tip you into the top 3 or whatever, the top 5 placing, then it's like, you know, you don't have an opportunity. So I also know that I was very privileged to be in that as well. But I told my fans all the time, like, listen, I want to enter this contest solely because there needs to be fucking black people. That's literally this is going to be the most pro-black thing. Literally, I was like, I don't give a fuck if I don't take home the crown, but like, we need to see black faces that place to make it to the next round. Yep. And if you can help me get there, then like, thank you. Like, please, that is literally my only objective. And I will stand by. I can fucking like bring up proof where I'm like, I want a black person to win. That is my sole purpose in entering. Like, there needs to be a fucking change and there needs to be a shakeup. You got the funds. You seem to fuck with me. So let's put our fucking 2 cents together. Like, let's do it.
Let's do it. And that's why I even just started now doing like the smaller contests every now and then. I've completely like only like when I really want to put on a sale or do deals, I stop putting deals to also show, because I'm like, that's a thing too, is I'm trying to show these sites that people actually fuck with black women. I don't put deals, and I'm still able to like rank in the top 50 or top 100 for a day contest with nothing added on. And tips sometimes, or just generally having community support. So it's like, do you see what happens when you give a space? Do you see that people actually want to see us there? And that's all I can hope. And it's like, why I don't stop doing the contest. Why kind of like, I'll take the abuse. I'll always take the abuse in that sense, because I feel like, you know, like our ancestors did stuff for us, like our elders did stuff for us. It's like when you're given a gift and
your duty.
It's your duty. So if I have to put through the emotions through heartbreak of not winning contests or putting myself out there and not getting the things, but at least still being seen, I'm going to do that in hopes that others are seeing that. And there is like a couple that have told me that. And even for me, I'm just like, I'm nothing yet, like, you know, and they're just like, having black women come to me and say that they're like, my content inspires them. I'm like, that's all I ever want to hear, is that I can help you and you can see that you can get here and you can grow and you deserve these spots and you're just as good as like our white colleagues. We're just as good.
Yeah, 100%. We are just as deserving, just as good, just as beautiful, just as hardworking. And it's about time that shift and that paradigm is shown, that we are here and we're not going anywhere. And I truly do like thank you for just saying all that you said, because it's one of those great feelings. Like, it's one thing when like your white colleagues are like, oh my God, congratulations. And it's like, oh, thank you. But like when you have black women and just black talent in general rooting for you, like the amount, anytime like that I enter any type of thing, like whether if it's XBIS nomination that I got or a cosplay nomination, it's the amount of messages that I get from black talent that's just like, yes, like you're fucking killing it, like I followed you because I saw you on here and now I voted for you, like take it home for the community. Like that's the type of stuff that inspires me. Like, and I really want people to understand, like, if I win, I fucking win, yes, but for me winning is being in that fucking space. And when I tell you when I felt like I made it was the XBiz that just passed, being in that room and like seeing myself and another black creator in one of the most hard white dominated categories, cosplay, and seeing a Black creator take home a fucking cosplayer award. Like, I felt like I won. I started crying, and I wasn't even the one that won, but it was like I won because the community won. Like, and that's how I try to be. Like, that's it. Just that. I didn't think this is how this conversation was gonna go.
You, Anna Fox, is freaking killing it. Like,
I love Anna. She's the sweetest person that I've ever met. I've fangirled her for years. Like, I've loved. Okay, love sounds excessive.
Her Black body in this industry was what made maybe I have a chance where I won't hate my body and people won't hate my body.
Yes.
I saw her. I was like, okay, so we can do it. And now look at she's doing.
And she is just as sweet online as she is in person. And seeing all that she's done with, like, bringing Black women into Playboy and, like, just fucking, like, being the #1 most awarded Black woman right fucking now. Can we give my sister her flowers? Because
once the door opened, she said,
she literally did. She was like, sis, come on, sis, over here. And that's what I love to fucking see. Like, I'm little sis, she big sis. I'm gonna get up there where she at one day, but it's inspiring.
Maybe at the bottom, just like watching you guys, and it's just like and again, it's like having women that are my age or around my age. That's also like huge, and why it's inspiring. And again, great to see that you're not just seeing like, okay, we're gonna bring teeny Black girls. We're not bringing teeny Black girls. Like, like it's good to see Black women, and it's so liberating. It's so liberating.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for being here. Oh my God, this was like so much fun. And for people that don't know, like, we've only talked through Twitter. Like, we've never verbally said one word to each other. We've never verbally, like, are physically seen each other, like in action. It's literally been like likes on Twitter and like response.
Contract work or things were used together. Like, never ever talked.
Never had said. I think the first like full conversation we had when I was like, "Hey, would you like to be on my podcast?"
I was like, how do I know I'm excited? I'm just excited. I was just like,
I know. I was like, she know I'm a nobody, right?
And like, you're the first like Black woman to do a podcast. Like, I haven't done a podcast with a Black woman. Like, I've only done like little small like writing things. I've never got a one-on-one and in this industry. So I was like, like, I'm talking to somebody in this industry that's also dark skinned and Black and curvy.
And I want people to understand, we emphasize dark skin a lot because colorism is such a huge thing. Like, it is such a huge thing. And like, dark skinned Black people have like, it's really rough. So when we say like, oh, we're just so happy to see dark skinned models, because it truly fucking is. Like, you don't see that. And it's like, it's literally like, it's like the Little Mermaid. It's like the Little Mermaid. It's like how we all grew up seeing a white Ariel and then seeing Halle come out as Little Mermaid with her dreadlocks is the most beautiful thing ever. As a 30-year-old woman, I cried seeing that fucking trailer because it was finally seeing myself be represented on a big screen, and that's how it is for us in the industry.
I can say for me, growing up here, I was told by girls that I couldn't be a princess because there were no Black princesses. So anyone that also wants to say, well, why does she need to be Black? It's because people literally fucking came into our faces and told us
that we're not princesses.
Like, we could never be, if there was no dark-skinned character in anything you were playing, you couldn't be in it. Like, you were part of it. So that's why I always emphasize dark skin.
Yes,
beautiful.
It's important.
And
dark is beautiful.
Like, it's beautiful, and I'm gonna make sure it's known. I see color because people always made it known that I'm different. So I'm not gonna now go through like all that trauma in my life to make people feel comfortable. If you're uncomfortable with that, evaluate that. Ask yourself why it's uncomfortable to hear us being prideful and happy about seeing dark-skinned women.
Yes.
It's just crazy how people act all naive too, and it's like, come on, we all kind of grew up in the same generation.
Right. We know what's going on. Like, they'd be like, you guys got Princess Tiana. Yeah, and for the majority of the fucking movie, she was a frog. They made her a fucking frog.
That was later. Like, that was like how I didn't get to grow up with her.
Right. Like, that was okay. Like, I finally, but like, come on. Like, it's been generations upon generations.
Yeah, she was also working. I just wanted a princess did nothing.
Right.
The princess did nothing. Why have to work? Why
Literally.
Have to work
Why couldn't she lose a glass slipper?
Right? Why couldn't she sleep?
Like, you just depicted slavery and turned her into a fucking princess. Hard-working, stressed black woman.
I'm tired. That's my real life. That's not a princess.
That's me. I could have looked in the fucking mirror.
God damn. Working doubles. Can't go out with her friends. Wait. I'm packing.
And then you turned into a frog. Like, okay, so I got depressed. Like,
because we can't catch a break. We
can never catch a fucking break. You know what? I need to rewatch it because that is the epitome of.
No, I'm watching that. You're not gonna literally sit there and just cuss the entire movie out. She couldn't just win some money or had her best friend, little white best friend, give her some money, and then she ran off and she could have just owned the restaurant. But she also wanted to like cook. Did she want to actually work in it? She actually wanted to work in it. She didn't even want to just like buy the property and own it and go by her with her man. Like, no, she wanted.
She had to struggle from the bottom, from the hood, to try to make it to the top. Like, see, they didn't even do Princess Tiana right. Now I'm fucking mad. See. Period. So don't be fucking mad. And y'all better show up May 2023 with your motherfucking kids supporting my black Ariel, okay? This shit. Period.
Can't wait for that little Barbie. Can't wait till they make the black Ariel Barbie. That I will get, and I will keep that in the box. Like, I want.
Yes. I have my Princess Tiana pop toys. And then I have my Storm. You know, I gotta support the black women. Like, oh jeez, we are so black here, and I'm so fucking for it. Like,
I don't even think my fan base has seen me this black. I'm always like,
I should just title this episode like Blackish, and then put like a question mark. Or no, blackity black. That's what it looks like. Oh my goodness. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure
love how long
with you today. I know, right? So long. Oh my goodness. But yes, no, it has been a true pleasure getting to know you more, just having some authentic, like, true conversations and really feeling seen and understood as well. And I am, girl, we gonna make it happen. We gonna do something in real life together. Like, I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, I got an idea.
please.
Oh, something happened. And like I said, like upcoming conventions, there's AVNs, which is in Vegas in January. Yeah, that's next year.
December 31st, so can't do.
Oh, your birthday's coming up. Yeah. And then there's XBiz, and then there's always
XBiz in spring.
There's two. So there's XBiz LA, which is also in January, and then there's XBiz Miami, which is usually during the summer. So like May, June-ish.
Okay, let's
what else? I don't know. Whenever the shit come up, I'll be like, hey.
Be on my ass. Like,
yeah, I'll be like, hey, so this is happening in the States. Like,
get your ass out.
Like, come on. Like, come through. Come through.
Yeah.
Or if you're ever just happen to be in the States, like, let a bitch know.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, I think I'm at that stage and I felt like I hate that I'm like that, but again, being the Canadian in it.
It's so hard.
Solo, I felt like I wanted to like establish myself enough first and like have some like shit in my belt or some sort of press or say I worked with different people before going into the US because I didn't want to be like, I'm a content creator. And they're like, who the fuck?
No, that's how it is. You just reach out to people. Okay. The amount of DMs I've slid into, like I've slid into some big people's DMs like, hi, how's your day going? I was wondering, I have this podcast, and they'd be like, yeah, sure. I'd be like, really? Okay, cool. Or exactly. Like, I have this idea. You just slide in people DMs, shit.
Yeah, that's why I definitely want to come out for one of the award shows, and I just want to like bother people and network with people.
Yeah, and it's a good time too, because then like you're meeting face to face, you're matching the Twitter handles to the real face, and then you get a vibe too to see like, are they the same online as they are in person?
Yeah, and like there's things that I can take back, and like I want to network with more Canadians as well. Like, and like there's things.
Yeah, so many Canadians and UK models. I meet so many. Like, I'm like, damn, you live in Canada? All right. Like, I mean, I go out there. I've been out there once, but like, I'll make a trip. So. Yeah, just slide in people's DMs. You never know. Sliding in DMs. The worst that can happen is they just don't respond, and it's like, okay. It's like Tinder. Like, you just don't respond.
All right, take the L.
Take the L and move on. But let everyone know where they can find you.
So I can be found on Twitter at Daddy's Rozay. Yeah, and you can find me on many vids as Daddy's Rozay. You can also find me on Sect Panther under Daddy's Rozay as well.
Period. You heard she likes the sex, so get on.
Phone calls too, but you gotta like be bringing the work. Like, just know that we're gonna have to.
She likes you to participate. Remember that, okay?
Participate because then I'm gonna just be in different positions. I like to put myself in different positions on the phone, so we can have a great time and check out my content and for sure get accustomed from me because I'm actually pretty fun.
Yeah, she actually makes content, unlike me. So hit her up.
I will be mommy. I will roleplay. Just do not call me anything. Yeah, bad. No,
if you listen, you already fucking know. Okay.
Exactly.
And I'll make sure to have everything listed down below as well. And this has been another episode of Chaotic Madness. And I will see you guys all next time, next week, with someone else, someone fresh, someone new. Who knows?